Bible is a sacred text that has been a cornerstone of faith for millions of people around the world for centuries. However, in today's era of mainstream media, it has become increasingly difficult to learn the true lessons of the Bible through this platform. Mainstream media often presents a watered-down or distorted version of biblical teachings, which can be misleading and confusing for those seeking to understand the true message of the Bible. One reason why mainstream media fails to convey the true lessons of the Bible is that it often focuses on sensationalism and controversy rather than substance and depth. The media tends to highlight stories and topics that are likely to generate the most attention and ratings, rather than providing a nuanced and balanced exploration of biblical principles. For example, a news program may focus on a provocative statement made by a religious leader, without providing context or exploring the underlying biblical teachings that support or contradict the statement. This can create a superficial understanding of the Bible and its teachings, and can lead to misinformation and misconceptions. Another reason why mainstream media is not an effective platform for learning the true lessons of the Bible is that it often approaches the subject from a secular or worldly perspective. Many journalists and commentators lack a deep understanding of biblical theology and history, and may approach the subject with a critical or cynical eye. This can result in a skewed or biased presentation of biblical teachings, which can be misleading and unhelpful for those seeking to understand the true message of the Bible. Furthermore, mainstream media often prioritizes entertainment value over educational or informative content, which can make it difficult to engage in a meaningful and substantive exploration of biblical principles. In addition, mainstream media often relies on expert commentators who may not be qualified to interpret biblical teachings. These commentators may have a limited understanding of biblical history, theology, and cultural context, and may provide interpretations that are not supported by the text. This can be particularly problematic when it comes to complex and nuanced biblical topics, such as prophecy, apocalyptic literature, or theological doctrine. Without a deep understanding of the biblical context and language, it is easy to misinterpret or misunderstand the true meaning of the text, which can lead to confusion and misinformation. Furthermore, mainstream media often has a short attention span and may not be willing to invest the time and resources necessary to provide a comprehensive and in-depth exploration of biblical teachings. The media may focus on quick soundbites and headline-grabbing stories rather than engaging in a thoughtful and reflective examination of biblical principles. This can make it difficult to grasp the rich nuances and complexities of the Bible, and can result in a superficial or surface-level understanding of the text. Finally, mainstream media is often driven by a secular agenda, which can be at odds with the spiritual and theological principles of the Bible. The media may prioritize topics and issues that are relevant to the secular world, rather than exploring the deeper spiritual and theological themes that are at the heart of the Bible. This can create a disconnect between the media's presentation of the Bible and the true message of the text, which can be confusing and misleading for those seeking to understand the true lessons of the Bible. In conclusion, while mainstream media may provide some limited insight into the Bible and its teachings, it is not an effective platform for learning the true lessons of the Bible. The media's focus on sensationalism, secularism, and entertainment value can create a distorted or superficial understanding of the text, and can lead to misinformation and misconceptions. To truly understand the Bible and its teachings, it is necessary to engage with the text in a more thoughtful and reflective way, through prayer, study, and conversation with qualified teachers and scholars. By doing so, we can gain a deeper understanding of the true message of the Bible, and can apply its principles and teachings to our lives in a meaningful and transformative way.